Good afternoon. This is Chief Cheatham and Valencia with Wellness Honey.
What's up?
How y'all doing today? We going live. We're going to talk about our post that we put up today. The post was about 4 signs that you're allowing your past to rule your life. And today we're going to discuss 6 signs. We're going to discuss 6 signs that you're allowing your past to rule your life.
All right, so what does it mean when your past rules, or when you're living in the past, right?
Right. What does it mean when you're living in the past? First sign is that you're living in the past and you're letting the past rule your life is... What's the first sign?
Well, first, before we get to the signs, let's talk about kind of what does it mean to live in the past. And so it's when you're living in the past, it means that mentally and emotionally, you're stuck. How can I want to explain this? You're stuck doing like
Repeating cycles?
Yeah, you're stuck repeating the same cycles because usually something happens in your past that either you didn't process or it's usually something you didn't process and you just keep living it over and over and over it again so that you can take the time to understand what really transpired.
Right, it's like not agreeing with the outcome at the time because you haven't really sat down and figured out, what it meant for your life. Like, what was the positive behind the situation and of it all? Because in every situation, there's some kind of a positive. There's either some information, some light, an actuality, a physical realization, but there's something. So, you want to get into the first sign? Is something else you want to say?
Yeah, because living in the past isn't just it's like you don't accept something, but then also it's about sometimes sometimes are just more funner than others. Like you have some experiences that's like, wow, this is amazing, this is great. And then it's like you get stuck in that moment, and it's kind of like you expect every moment to be that moment.
Right.
It's kind of
like the nostalgia of high school sports and dances and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like during that time, maybe you were like your best self. And then it's like currently, in your life, you're not really experiencing that, you dances. I don't know. You mentioned dances, but... All right, so I guess we can go ahead and get into the 6 signs.
Okay. So the first sign is you find it hard to let go. You find it real hard to let go of old situations, like we were saying. You kind of stuck in, I guess nostalgic is a good word. You stuck in nostalgia. What you think? Okay. So, all right. If you feeling like you're stuck in the past, for example, for me, I got a lot of old classmates that like to reminisce about what we did back in high school. And to be honest with you, I've been at a point in my life for some years now where I don't really like to do a whole lot of reminiscing about the past. I'm more so interested in what's really going on right now and what we're trying to do in the future. I like talking about the past every once in a while because it's fun, it's cool, but that's not where I like majority of my energy to go. So being stuck in the past, is like when you go hang out with your boys or your girls, you don't be with on a day-to-day basis, but that's your peeps from way back when, and you go get them and they come and get you. They trying to get you to be with them every other day, and all they want to do is talk about how things were so good back then and back when. That's stuck in the past.
Okay. Another way of noticing when you're stuck when you're finding it hard to let things go is when you're holding on to a lot of old, like a lot of stuff, especially old stuff from the past that brings up these memories, and it takes you down memory lane, and it keeps you close to what happened in the past, and it's like you have a whole house full of this stuff. And another thing about being stuck in the past that we posted about was is that it doesn't just mean in the past, like long ago in childhood. It means like in each passing moment. So for instance, holding on, let's say you go to a restaurant and you get the food, and they give you all these condiments, right? All the ketchup packets, all the soy sauce, and the hot sauce packets. And every time you go to the store, instead of just throwing that away, you're like, I'm gonna put it in this box, and I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna hold it for next time. And then next time never come because you never use it. And so it's kind of like holding on to these things is not healthy at all. It just clutters up your house. So that's one sign of knowing that you're living in the past, is when it's hard to let even the simplest things go.
Yeah, and that's funny. We be keeping them ketchup packets.
I threw all of them away.
I noticed.
We had a whole big box of ketchup packets. I had to let that go. Hey y'all, what's up? Hey Crystal. Hey Pebbles. What's up, y'all? Today we talking about 4 ways. Trying to wave at you. Yeah. So today we're talking about 4 ways to let you know when the past is ruling your life.
Right. And we actually we're gonna try to get into 6 ways, but let's get through the first 4.
Yeah, and the first one we were talking about is that you find it hard to let go. And
this next one is holding on to grudges.
Yeah.
So, what you gotta say about holding on to grudges?
So, oh hey, what's up, Jazz? Hey, so we're talking about how the past is ruling your life and holding on to grudges. So if you find yourself, I love the hearts. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I got excited. Let me not get distracted. So, yeah. So the thing is when you spend a lot of time holding on to grudges, that means you're stuck in the past. It's like it can be the simplest thing that somebody can do, and it's like you mad at them for life. It's like they can cut you off in traffic. Somebody can cut you off in traffic, and then you holding on to this for the rest of your day. It's like you can't believe that they did this, and you talking to everybody about this, and it's you gotta let everybody know what this person did, and it'll be years down the line, and you're like still talking about that person who cut you off in traffic. It's like that. It's a problem because you holding on to this, and you kind of gotta wonder why. Like, why hold on to that grudge? What's your thoughts about holding on to grudges?
Grudges are weird because it be the weirdest thing that you be holding on to. And I've had a lot of friends, a lot of relationships, and a lot of people fade away, and you hear, you know what I'm saying? You hear through the grapevine what the reason it is why somebody don't deal with this one and that one and whatnot. And it's, in my mind, I'd be like, wow, like it be the things people be upset about. It makes you wonder, like, where's your focus? Are you what you trying to get out of life that you've been upset for 10 years that somebody stole your pencil and it was your favorite gold pencil? You know what I'm saying?
So, Rick, like, it's almost like, are you really upset at this person? Or are you really, or what they did, or are you upset about something else?
Right. It's like, are you really upset about the person stealing your pencil, or are you upset about that you allow yourself to be in situations where you always with people that take your stuff?
Right. Real. That's real. You don't make the conscious decision to stop being around people that take your stuff and be around people that's gonna genuinely respect the stuff they know you respect. They know you love this gold pencil, so they're gonna make sure even if you left it on the table, they bring your gold pencil back to you.
That's the kind of people you want to be with, you know. That's in my idea. That's not being stuck in the past. That's what I move towards. So, what you think?
Yeah, I agree. So we're gonna move on to number three.
Number three?
The third sign that you stuck in the past is if you have regrets.
Regrets.
You have a lot of regrets. It's like you've done something in the past or somebody done something in the past, and it's like you regret being friends with this person, or you regret being in a relationship with this person, or you regret that you said something to somebody. You regret, and it's like it haunts you. You just feel it deep in your soul.
Right. Like you hated that you was in that relationship. Even though you might not be in it no more. For some reason you hated you was in that relationship. Why?
Or maybe regret. I don't know.
That's what I'm
hate.
saying. I'm using hate as an equal with regret. Right here parallel. Because that's how a lot of people feel when they internally they feel hate when they think regret. So, you know, and maybe not everybody, but when I talk to people, when they say they regret something, you can feel and hear that I hated this.
Right. I feel like people feel like they could have done something differently. It's like almost like if I wasn't with this person, or if I wouldn't have did this thing, or if I wouldn't have said this, then I wouldn't have got this outcome that I got.
Right.
And I feel like that, you know, I'm one of those people that feel like everything happens for a reason. That outcome happened, that's the outcome that was going to happen regardless. So it's kind of like holding on to regret is not accepting what's going on right in front of you. Not accepting that you said what you said and it was supposed to be said in that moment. Right. You did what you did because it was supposed to be done. And you was with that person so that you can learn whatever lesson you were supposed to learn. So it's kind of like if you are holding on to regrets, you are living in the past. And then that means from that regret, all the decisions that you make after that, like, is going to be steeped in the regret, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like holding on to regrets is kind of like wanting to go back and change the past.
Right.
So my opinion is the only way and the best way to actually to do what you're trying to achieve by what you want to go back and change the past, which is really change the future, is actually just step up right now and change the future.
Yeah, change the future by being present.
Right. Because you can't go back to the past. And if you really think about it, why most people won't go back to the past? Because they want to see a different present right now. They want to be able to envision a different future than what the mental block is keeping them from seeing right now.
I agree. I definitely agree. Because you can't change past mistakes. Right? You can't change them, or you can't change them from going back in the past. The only way you can change them is by what you do right now in the present.
One thing you can do is change the way you look at it. It might not have been a mistake. It just might have been a situation. You know, I like the word situation because perspective determines whether or not something was a mistake or it was an experience that became a tool. So I like situation. It was a situation. It wasn't a mistake.
Okay, so wait, all right.
So question?
Yeah, well, Chris, I think it might be just
become grudges.
It says
regrets become grudges.
It says holding on to regret become grudges.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah, holding on to regrets become grudges because that's the part about living in the past, being stuck in the past. So if you feel like you regret a decision you made in the past, you can be holding on a grudge against yourself.
Yeah.
You can straight up be holding a grudge against yourself. I don't like the person I was when I made that decision.
Yeah.
And you're not freeing yourself from being able to be the bigger person, the new person that you manifested. So to be the new person that you manifested, you gotta let the grudge go against yourself. You gotta let the grudge go against your parents. You gotta let the grudge go against the friends you had at the time, because all of that is just you not allowing yourself to manifest who you're trying to be right now in this moment.
Yeah. I feel that, like holding on to regret. Yeah, it can become a grudge, and I feel that you can have a grudge against yourself.
All right. I'm gonna give a prime example from myself. I once told myself as an adult that once I decided to go and play semi-pro football, that I could have actually tried to play pro football when I was going through school. I never tried to play pro football. I just tried to get pay for college. But and I'm not really a regretful person. And I had to catch myself after a while of thinking that thought that I don't have no regrets from the decisions I made. I was never trying to go pro to be thinking that because I didn't have those thoughts back in the day, something might have been different with my life. Whatever. What it was is I made the decisions I made because I knew what kind of person I wanted to be. And to be honest with you, I'm moving forward and being that kind of person right now. I'm probably closer at being that person now than I would have been if I would have went and tried to become a pro athlete.
So what you're saying is you had regret behind...
I didn't have regret initially, but when I decided to go play semi-pro ball as an adult, which is a hobby for me, I started to be like, dang, I could have, you know what? I could have made a decision to try to be all I could be in football and go pro, but that was never actually my goal. So I had to reaffirm myself that was never my goal. What am I regretting? My goal was to get my education and get this degree and focus on being an entrepreneur. That was the goal.
So having that regret was kind of like a grudge because...
Right. Like that momentarily going back into the past and reliving something and then feeling like that could be a regret even though it didn't last long. That's having a grudge against myself, a grudge against who I was as an adolescent trying to make decisions on what I'm going to do as an adult.
Real. I feel that. So let's move on to number 4, which is you resist change. How do you feel about
change? How do you feel about resisting change?
So yeah, I mean when you're stuck in the past, it kind of goes with number 5. You never feel complete or satisfied. It's like when you resist change, it's like it's like you want things to kind of be comfortable. And it's like sometimes when we living in the past, it's comfortable to live that way because we don't have to take responsibility for our actions. And it's kind of like resisting change is not wanting to hold yourself accountable, not wanting to accept, you know what I'm saying, everything that needs to happen for you to step up. To move into something that you may not be used to, or because changes.
I look at change like pressure.
Yeah, changes pressure. Change can be difficult. Because sometimes it's easier to just be what you always imagine yourself to be. It's not what you always imagine yourself, but sometimes it's easier just to be the same person who you've always been. Cause it's easier. It's like your fallback. It's like a default. You don't have to challenge yourself most of the time to be the same person.
It's super easy to not change because one, it's comfortable. No matter even if your situation don't look comfortable to somebody else, it don't look entirely comfortable to your imagination. Wherever you at right now is comfortable. Your brain thinks it's comfortable. That's how your brain works. Your brain thinks that whatever you have already been through, whatever you are already doing, is comfortable. I can live in this state. You know, even if you're dying from it, your brain thinks that you can live in this state because you're living right now. So, yeah, resisting change. And I say change to me is like pressure. So it's like you resist pressure and you don't get the what they usually relate pressure to, diamonds. You resist the pressure, you don't get the diamond in the end. You don't, because diamonds are built from pressure. So constant change it's inevitable. That's really the only thing that's constant in life. Change is constant in life.
Constant change. The only thing that's constant is change.
Change is constant in life. So if I relate change to pressure, That means that being present with what's constantly changing in life, not being scared of it, not resisting the change, not just laying in your comfortability, then you allow yourself to make yourself a diamond. You know, you allow yourself to buckle up underneath the pressure and become a shining star.
Right, and it's like, okay, so on this we have, you feel nostalgic and you keep reminiscing about things, how things used to be, and wish they were still the same, or that you can go back to those moments with those people.
Right.
Is that feeling, that wishing that things could be the same.
Right. It's just like what I just said, like the brain. Your brain thinks that, like, you had highlight reels, highlight moments, and your brain is like, man, I can get back to those highlight moments. I'm a little afraid to see if I can create some new highlight moments, but I'm about living those old highlight moments because I didn't already created them. That's how your brain works.
Right. So it's kind of like, yeah, I agree. So I feel like we can move on to the next one, which is number 5. The fifth sign is.
Made it to 5.
You want to read it?
You never feel complete or satisfied.
Yes.
So feeling complete and satisfied.
It's kind of like you never feel like, it's like nothing lives up to the past. It's kind of like nothing lives up to that past moment. So it's kind of like you feel empty. You feel like you'll never reach, like you'll never be satisfied. It's almost nothing satisfies you. You can get, it's like you wish and you wish for $1 million. You get the $1 million and you wish for $2 million. You get the $2 million and you wish you like, if I get $3 million, that's gonna make me happy. You get $3 million and it don't make you happy. It's like, it's nothing satisfies you. It's like being thirsty and you just keep drinking and drinking and drinking, and you're like, oh my God, I'm thirsty, and you done drunk 10 gallons of water, you still thirsty. It's just you can never quench your thirst. You can never feel fulfilled. You can never be satisfied. And so it's oh, you have something else? You want to add something to that?
Sure. I mean, it's as far, like, from a male perspective, as far as like not being satisfied, let's talk about women. You know, perspectives on all these different aspects that you may believe might make a woman perfect to you, and as you dating, you know, this one woman has this one perfect quality. Number 2 got this perfect quality. Number 3 got that perfect quality. Number 4 got this perfect quality. But ain't none of them got all of them. You know what I'm saying?
This sounds like Boomerang.
Yeah, just like Boomerang. You know, you're not satisfied with anything at all because you know, you don't feel like nothing's complete. You just feel like every single thing is like a portion. And you don't feel complete because you really looking back at some old thought in your head that said, all of these things is what makes perfect for me. And you really haven't tried to see if there's perfection, or your perfection for you, in just seeing what's available in each one of these situations, like at a higher level. Because completeness is a perspective thing as well. Each and every one of those individuals, each and every one of those young ladies is complete. It was your decision to decide that you have a vision of what's complete from the past. And what I say about the present and the future is you always developing what your vision is. So it's up for you to not be stuck in the past and be open to allowing yourself to realize that your vision can change. Your vision can be brand new every day about what you think is perfect. And perfect can be all of the imperfections.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I think you know, women do the same thing. You know, it's what I always think though is like, when people have these impossible lists, standards that people gotta live up to, like, in order for me to be with this person, he gotta be tall, he gotta he gotta be buff, he gotta work out in the gym every day, he gotta have a steady income, but even more so, most of these beyond just steady income, he gotta make 6 figures, he gotta drive this type of car, he gotta do this. What you really doing is making this list about yourself. It's like you looking for you. So when these people aren't complete, it's because you aren't complete. And that's the way I look at that. It's like the reason why you can't be satisfied with this one person and not see their completeness is because you don't see your own completeness. So in order for you to be able to, because I'm gonna be honest, anybody can be, like, I know we talk a lot about soulmates, but honestly, anybody could be your soulmate. It's you decide who your soulmate is. Soulmates are 2 people who came together and decided that, you know what, we gonna be together and we gonna work at being together. That's it. You decide in that moment, I'm gonna decide that this person is good enough and I'm gonna make it work. Because if you and that person was the last person on earth, y'all would make that shit work. Ain't no we are compatible, we are not compatible, or we compatible because we decided we compatible.
Right. It's just like deciding to choose a career you want to be in for 30, 40 years. It's like you decide, I'm gonna be with this career. I got this relationship with this way of work, and I'm gonna be with it for 30, 40 years. It's the same commitment.
Yeah. You decide whether you feel complete or not. If you're not feeling complete or satisfied with your job, with a person, it's because you're not complete within yourself. And usually it has something stemmed back from your childhood. 9 times out of 10, most of our issues, I always say this, come from our childhood. No shade at our parents. No shade at our guardians or the people who raised us. It's just the way it is. Is that we learn, and the things that we experience in childhood shape the rest of our whole entire life. So it's, if you don't feel satisfied or complete, it could come from maybe you didn't get something from your guardians. You didn't get enough attention from them. You didn't get they didn't teach you, or maybe they weren't complete or satisfied with life. So it's kind of like you saw them in the way they responded and acting, and you just acting in that same way. You just don't realize it. We don't always realize what we learn and how we learn it until we older, and we realize, I learned that from my parent because they used to do this, that, and the other.
Yeah, we don't always. It take a while to realize the cycles we learn as kids. You know, as you. Take a while.
It does. It does. So it says that we have on here for 5. You constantly compare everything in your present to something in the past, or things you have lost or didn't gain. You obsess over unfulfilled goals. So that is number 5. You never feel complete or satisfied. Okay. You got anything else you want to say, or can we move on to number 6?
No, let's move on to number 6.
All right. So number 6, would you like to read or me?
You find it hard to make genuine connections.
So let's read this one. Let's start off, and we're gonna read this one. It says you are always searching for what you had or thought you wanted from the past in your present moment. It's hard to see people for who they are beyond who you want them to be. How you feel about that?
It's hard to see people beyond what you want them to be. I feel strong about that because I feel like, as far as growth-wise goes, most of what a lot of us is going to experience is that the people from our past, they don't expect nothing. They don't expect us to be nobody different than who they already imagined and have envisioned us to be from the moment they started having a relationship or interaction with us. And that's, and that's just how it is. So if you met somebody and their vision of you is that you a clubber, you know what I'm saying? They gonna always pretty much see you that way. It's real hard for them, if they don't change, if they ain't the kind of person that have changed their own life, to see that you have changed your life, or you're a different person than the vision that they saw of you. What you think?
Yeah. So I had a thought as you was thinking. Talking is thinking, right? As you were talking, and yeah, it's kind of hard when you know, people have this idea of you in their head and they meet you and you can be a completely different person and they're still going to see, like, you can change and like they're gonna still see you as this person and you're gonna be like, but I'm not this person, right? And so I feel like it's not who you really are sometimes. Like sometimes who you project out there to be is not really who you are deep inside.
When you're going through an internal struggle, it's hard to really be the person that you really want to be.
Right.
That's really what it is. When you're going through something internally, it's hard to be happy. It's hard to be happy around people and allow people around you to be happy in your space.
Right. So sometimes you could kind of be what this person wants you to be, and then it's like, but you're not being yourself. So if you're not, in order to have a genuine connection, you gotta be being who you really are, and that person gotta be being who they really are in order for y'all to see each other for who y'all really are.
Right.
Outside of that, it's like this person projecting who they think they are, who they've been, and you projecting who you think you are, who you've been, and then it's kind of like, oh, we think we like these projections.
You like who the other person is trying to be to make you happy.
Yes.
So when you're trying to make each other happy, being somebody that you're really not, you know, you pulling the wool over each other's eyes.
Yeah.
You living in a blind relationship.
You living in a blind relationship, and so it's not a genuine connection. It's not, because it's like all you can see is you, and all they can see is them. So the moment you have a problem with this, because most issues come from not because you really the thing. It's like, most issues come is the issue you having when the person don't want to play into that projection for you. So it's like, that's what you really got an issue with the person with. It's like, wait, you're not going to be this for me right now? I need this right now. And they're like, no, because I need this right now. And so it's like, psh. So what you think you fighting over is not what you really fighting over. You know what I'm saying? It be the simplest issues, y'all fighting it out, and you're like, why are we fighting over toasted bread? You toasted the bread too, dog. You know I don't like this like that.
Because that persona don't work when stuff is going on in your life.
Right.
It's hard to hold up a persona when you got stuff going on with you. You can't play that role. You know, it's hard to be an actor when you really got something going on with you, when you're not pretending.
Yeah, it's hard to pretend when you don't feel like it.
Right.
When it's like, I can't pretend right now. This is not gonna work. I actually need you to see the real me. And it's kind of like, it's like you set yourself up and your relationship up and your connection up for failure when both parties not being who they really are, and then we holler at, but you've changed. No, I have not. You know, I just stopped being who I didn't feel like being today, and I may not feel like being that person tomorrow either. You know what? I don't want to be this person at all. This is who I really am. And a lot of the times we can't accept it. When you can't accept somebody else for who they really are, it's because you can't accept yourself. I always go back to the self. Is you not accepting you. Because the way I feel is truly, we all have the capacity to love and accept everybody for who they are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anybody on the street, you can love and accept them if you love and accept yourself.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. So that was all 6 signs, right?
Yep. You ready to wrap this up?
Yeah. That's
all
why
right.
I
So
wrap it up.
that was the 6 signs on.
You wanna reiterate them? Right.
Okay.
Quick?
The 6 signs on allowing the past to rule your life. Number 1, you find it hard to let go.
Number 2, you hold on to grudges.
Number 3, you have regrets.
Number 4, you resist change.
Number 5, you never feel complete or satisfied.
Number 6, you find it hard to make genuine connections.
All right. And next week we're gonna talk about 6 signs. What's the title for next week?
6 ways to not live in the past.
6 ways to not live in the past.
There we go.
6 ways to live in the present and build for the future.
6 ways to let your presence rule your life.
Okay. And before we get off today, we want to let you guys know about Manifest You. Manifest You is our program that we offer for anyone who needs help in situations like this. You feeling stuck in the past? You ready to work with somebody, talk to somebody about how to get unstuck, how to start living in the present and move to the future? give us a DM or go to our website where you can book a call.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, this was great. I hope you guys got something out of this, and that it helped you, it sparked a thought, and like, okay, wait, maybe I might be living in the past. And then also, if not, take these signs with you and see as the weeks go by, like, to see if this shows up for you.
Right.
Because that's the whole thing. This is to help you bring awareness to what could be going on with you, because sometimes we don't always pay attention to this, you know.
Right. Be present in your thoughts and your feelings when the littlest things trigger you, even the littlest, and it help you be prepared for big triggers.
Big triggers, yeah, because every moment builds on the next
Right.
moment. So we're grateful for you for spending this time with us, and until next time, be well, and we love you.
And this is Wellness Honey, Valencia, and I'm Chief Chief. See you next week. Peace.
Why I gotta be so goofy? Like,
All right, sure you want to end your life?
yes.